special presentation of ESPN College Football on ABC. Welcome to Tailgate Week, fired up by Kingsford Charcoal.
Can't think of a better place in the country to go tailgating than Madison, Wisconsin. The fans here have turned tailgating into an art form. And this is a very special Saturday night in Madison. It's the Big Ten Conference debut of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. A sea of red here tonight. Welcome to Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines. You are looking at a raucous Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, Wisconsin. One of the biggest home games in Badgers history. They host the Big Ten debut for Nebraska, and Nebraska could not have asked for a tougher welcome to the Big Ten. Good evening and welcome everybody. With Kirk Street, I'm Brett Musburger. Thanks for dropping by. This is a special night here. Herbie, let's talk about the two quarterbacks. Let's start with Taylor Martinez, the great runner for the Cornhuskers.
I'm not touching it. Get back to it. I'm not touching it. Oh my God. Smoke in the air. Kickoff coming up on ABC. Enjoy your football.
The following is a special presentation of ESPN College Football on ABC.
The Texas State Fair is over 100 years old. And in 1929, Texas and Oklahoma began playing their annual game at the fairgrounds. In the 1950s, Elvis Presley performed a concert leading up to the big game. And in the shadow of Big Tex, the Texas OU tradition continues today. There is no setting in college football quite like it. And when the game ends, thousands of folks will spill into the Midway and enjoy the rides and all the fried food that you can imagine. Yes, the Texas OU game is a rite of fall down here in Dallas.
A river runs through it all right, running through history, rolling through time, a boundary between territories and teams. Billy and Earl, bound and down, Sam and Colt, Bob and Matt. Half the crowd, crimson and cream, half the bowl, burnt orange, half in ecstasy, half in misery. 12 months in 4 quarters, 60 minutes for 365 days. For rank to maintain, for regard to reclaim. Boomer sooner, hook 'em horns, high noon, deep cotton, Red River. Let it flow.
Welcome to ESPN's College Football on ABC, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. You are looking live at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. One of the great traditions in college football is the stadium crowd evenly split at the 50-yard line between Longhorn Burnt Orange and Sooner Crimson. Annual sellout in excess of 90,000 to see two unbeatens. Now, let's head down to the field, and here is Chris Fowler.
All right, Brett, thank you. Great to be with you here. Youthful exuberance for Texas. So many new faces. 2 first-year coordinators getting their first taste of this rivalry. And Oklahoma comes in with the swagger and the confidence of a season, preseason #1. Lee, what's the key to this game?
Well, I think the key to this game is Texas' ability to pressure.
It is homecoming weekend on the campus of the University of Nebraska, and the usual sellout crowd is filing into Memorial Stadium, hoping the Huskers can bounce back from an ugly loss to Wisconsin last week in Nebraska's first Big Ten game. It's been a long week for the Huskers, filled with physical practices and plenty of criticism directed at quarterback Taylor Martinez, who threw 3 interceptions against the Badgers. Their opponent tonight, Ohio State, making its first trip to Lincoln. Luke Fickell and the Buckeyes are still dealing with the after effects of scandals that have rocked the program and are fighting to keep their season together. Welcome everyone to ABC Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines on a historic night in Lincoln, Nebraska, as the Cornhuskers extend college football's record streak. 315 consecutive home sellouts here now, dating back to 1962, and Nebraska tonight hosting its first Big Ten game as they welcome the Ohio State Buckeyes. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sean McDonough along with Matt Millen. We'll be joined in a moment by Janine Edwards. Delighted to have you with us as we get a look at 2 of the top 5 all-time winningest programs in the history of college football. And Matt, Nebraska's 4-1. They're ranked number 14 in the country. You'd think.
Following is a special presentation of ESPN on ABC.
It is homecoming weekend at Stanford, and these days Cardinal alums have nothing to whine about when it comes to their football team. Stanford has found a great rhythm. The Cardinal carry the nation's longest winning streak into today's game. They've won 14 straight, led by Heisman Trophy candidate Andrew Luck. Tonight, they face their toughest test of the season against the Washington team that is clearly fired up based on the Huskies' rocking team bus. Steve Sarkisian has led UW back into the national rankings for the first time in 2 years, led by his always smiling quarterback Keith Price, who's emerged as a Heisman Trophy contender himself. It's a huge game in the Pac-12 with national implications. It's Washington and Stanford. Welcome to Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Tonight from sold-out Stanford Stadium, 2 top 25 teams go head-to-head. It's 25th ranked Washington taking on Stanford, which is number 8 in the first BCS standings, which were released on Sunday. These are 2 of the 3 undefeated teams in the Pac-12's North Division. Stanford 4-0 along with Oregon, while Washington is 3-0. Both the Cardinals and Huskies have a game remaining this season with the Ducks. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough along with Matt Millen. Delighted to have you with us. We'll be joined shortly by Heather Cox. When Andrew Luck surprised many and decided to come back for another season of college football, this is what he had in
minutes past the scheduled kickoff. There you see the reason for the long delay that we've had. At the scene earlier, it's cleared off a little bit. The 2 or 3 storm cells that we had have moved through for the most part. At least we hope so. We even had hail mixed in there. You saw the heavy lightning. Crowd is coming back in as we take a look at the BCS standings this week, brought to you by Vizio. LSU on top after a dominating performance against Auburn today. Alabama and Tennessee are playing right now on ESPN. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Of course, a lot of people aiming for the end of the season and the bedlam game between those 2 teams. Oklahoma State a winner today, and Oklahoma still has this duty upcoming tonight against Texas Tech. Brad Nessler and Todd Blackledge. You took an energy drink. You took it about 2 hours too early. We got all kinds of weather problems. Yeah. You talk about rebooting, Todd. I mean, everything these teams do during the course of the week is specifically scheduled.
Right.
And it all is supposed to peak basically about 10 minutes after 7 local time tonight. How do they get back in gear here?